going on? Dewan here, back with another video for you guys from Doug in Exile. Make sure you guys definitely go check his page out down in the description. Make sure you guys like the channel, make sure you guys comment, and make sure you subscribe for me. Let's get to it.
Of Trump's immunity case that's at the Supreme Court. And that is the most important of all of the court cases against Trump run by Jack Smith. Because if Trump has immunity through his presidency on January 6th, 2020, then all this goes away. He's immune. So the question is, what will the Supreme Court say? And Trump has an unexpected ally in Chief Justice Roberts, and I'll explain why. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. This is some great enlightenment. We've got, one of my favorites, Mike Davis, who I follow on Twitter, comments on this Fox News short. Let's take a look.
I mean, now Utah Senator Mike Lee, former Alito clerk, also with me, Mike Davis, Article 3 Project founder, former Gorsuch clerk. Senator, let's start with you.
So you have Mike Lee, you have Mike Davis. One's a Gorsuch clerk, one's an Alito clerk. So these guys have authority. So I just want to let you guys know, we're getting the best sources here for this news. I'm trying to, it's not all the, I mean, I like making fun of The View, but I also like getting some red meat in there too.
Do you think it would be likely that a majority of this court would say that President Trump or presidential immunity applies to these cases?
I certainly think it should be likely, and I think it will be likely. And the reason is this. There can be no dispute, no matter how loudly Liz Cheney and her acolytes in the Democratic Party, President Donald Trump was, in fact, president of the United States on January 6th. And you have to respect that fact in court, lest every president moving forward is going to be hobbled by a sure awareness of the fact that anything he or she may do could wind up bringing that president into court once that president is no longer in office.
Now, I just want to underline and clarify, this is the conservative argument, and I just want to ask you which is most likely, because it seems very likely after seeing what the Democrats are doing with the courts to prosecute a former president, Trump. This is incredibly likely. This is a very bad precedent to set. This is a dangerous and common precedent. It's not wild fantasy. It's not weird. It's incredibly likely. And he's just saying, this is not the country you want to, the precedent you want to set. This isn't the country you want to live in.
We don't want that as a country.
Absolutely.
And I think the Supreme Court understands that that's not workable, nor is it justifiable under the court's immunity jurisprudence.
And now I'm just pulling this out because I wanted to, that's the Republican side. Now this is the Democrat side of what they argue with what happens if you give a president immunity. From the New York Times, questions about assassinations test the limits of Trump's immunity claim. So the Republicans come out and say something very mainstream, say, look, if you don't give him presidential immunity, then you'll have political opponents taking previous presidents to court. And the Democrats come out and pull this out of their butt. They go, no. What really is going to happen is a president is going to order an assassination on another president, which is science fiction. And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the Democrats. But it's only saying that their test of presidential immunity is not reasonable. It's not common. We don't know of it happening. If it does happen, it's outrageous. What is far more likely with the president not getting immunity is you'll simply go after a political opponent or a previous one that just left office. And I mean, we're going to go after Barack Obama and Joe Biden if the Democrats agree that the president doesn't have immunity.
I would say to Liz Cheney and these other washed up Republican politicians, this is so much bigger than Donald Trump. This is about the presidency. If you can indict a president of the United States for his official acts, not his personal acts, his official acts, we are going to destroy the presidency and therefore destroy our country.
Now, it's going to destroy the country. Mike Davis is right. And this is where the three branches of government want to protect the three branches of government. The Supreme Court does not want to undermine the presidency, that branch of government, none more than John Roberts.
Think about this. Can the Trump 47 Justice Department charge President Obama for capital murder for his extrajudicial drone strike of 2 American citizens, including a minor?
As Democrats, be careful what you wish for, because if you do this, we will come after Obama and we will come after Biden.
Can the Trump 47 Justice Department charge President Biden for his illegal mass parole of illegal migrants into our country and the resulting crimes? Do the Democrats really want to go down this path?
That's right. If Trump wins, we're going to do this. So he is launching a real threat. We're telling the Democrats, if you do this, we're going to do it. And we have to do it, or the Democrats won't change their mind.
I think of people like Chief Justice Roberts, who's he's kind of an institutionalist. He likes to, stand for the executive branch, and I think others on the court do as well.
But it's especially Chief Justice John Roberts. And this is to my people on my right. We have a few loopy people go like, John Roberts, he's been compromised. He's evil. He's working for the communists. I've heard every conspiracy. Lynn Woods proposed the most ridiculous conspiracy. It doesn't help us, because how do you explain John Roberts could end up being Trump's biggest ally on the Supreme Court? In this case, excusing his immunity, under that immunity will undermine Fani Willis. It will undermine all this J6 stuff, which could put Trump back in office. How do you explain that?
This could be put an end to all of these cases, but I'm concerned that there also might be, through the court, running this fear of their own credibility being put at issue if indeed they short circuit. The Democrats attempt to short circuit the election.
So there's always that question of how much do the Supreme Court justices listen to culture and listen to the peer pressure to go get Trump? By the way,
I feel like not much, but that's just me.
Or Ingram clerked for Clarence Thomas. So you have 3 ex-Supreme Court clerks. These guys know what they're talking about. But it's John Roberts who is the most for the institution of the presidency and is most likely to defend Trump.
Let's take Chief Justice Roberts, as your question was directed to him principally. First and foremost, you're right, Laura, he's an institutionalist, and he wants to make sure that the Constitution is solidified in a way that allows for each of these institutions, each of these 3 branches, to continue operating as coordinate branches within our federal government.
Yeah, he has no interest in undermining this. He's the one most likely to come out. He might even end up writing the majority opinion for Trump.
That is unworkable if the living, breathing embodiment of the entire executive branch of government has to live each moment of a 4-year presidency under the brooding threat of eventual litigation and criminal charges over official acts taken by that person while that person was president. It doesn't work.
Yes, and remember that is incredibly likely. That is a likely scenario. If they don't give Trump immunity, the political opponents will go after presidents. What is unlikely is the New York Times questions about assassinations, that they will try to assassinate an opponent and then claim immunity. That's ridiculous.
I think Chief Justice Roberts is going to see that. And yes, there are political cross-currents here, but legally, this should be a no-brainer for at least a majority, if not a unanimous court.
Yes, thank you, Justice Roberts. Do the right thing. And this is one where his own judicial theory is most likely to help Trump out of all of the Supreme Court justices. Look for Justice John Roberts, the Chief Justice. I'm Doug in exile.
If y'all really think about that, you know how much of a chain reaction it's going to cause if they start going back to everything that every single president has ever done, from obviously George Bush and forward, from what I could think. Obviously you got more, but I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you guys like the videos for me, and make sure you definitely go check out Doug in Exile. You guys take it easy, and we'll see you soon.